on record. It's going to ask your consent. Again, it's just me and my voice. And then let's go find our seat if we haven't already. And then to start practice, to really get into our seat, we're going to scoot to the edge of whatever chair we're in. Maybe it's our bedside or couch. I will say for the practice today, we're going to be looking for sensory feedback from our sits bones. So the firmer of a seat that we're on, the more intense that feedback will be. So keep that in mind. But finding your seat looks like scooting to the edge of it. Now we have these sits bones, these bony protrusions underneath each cheek, and we're going to scoot forward until those bony protrusions catch on the edge of your seat. And what you might find is that the belly rolls forward just a little bit, that there's more space here for the breath, and that you might also have the pads of your feet planted now. So from this spot, really feeling those sits bones pressing down into the chair, we're going to take a deep breath and lengthen the spine by pressing up through the top of the head. On the exhale, let the shoulders melt. Rest your hands where it feels good. And then let's check in with the body. So you might let your gaze grow fuzzy. You might close your eyes here. And let the mind drop down into the breath. Can you notice the natural inhales and exhales in your body without trying to change them or deepen them in this moment? Without feeling judgment or shame for how deeply or softly you might be breathing. We're just here to notice the gentle rise and fall of the heart or the belly as you breathe into the body, breathing all on your own. The mind doesn't have to do a thing. The body is taking care of you. Where do you feel most of the movement of your breath? Can you allow your mind to search down into those little places to feel the shifting, the expanding with each inhale, the relaxing and the softening with each natural exhale? This practice alone is powerful, noticing without the need to change. Noticing the little things. When life feels big and hard and scary and overwhelming, the answer for our nervous system is the little things. And so we hang out here today in our practice, and we might set an intention of noticing and appreciating the little things, those things that we so often miss because they're automatic, like the sweet, soft movement of your body breathing all on its own. When you're ready, take a deep breath into the belly, fill the belly deep, then the chest, feel the whole body cavity expand, and then let that breath go when you're ready. Nice and slow, let it seep from the body before once more taking a big cleansing breath in. We'll do this a few times together, filling all the way up, and then exhaling from the mouth or the nose, nice and slow. Oftentimes we're encouraged to breathe through the nose because it helps regulate and slow the breath. It also helps stimulate the vagal nerve more deeply when we breathe through the nose, but it's not a requirement. So taking these big, full body breaths at your own pace, through the mouth or through the nose, trusting your body with either decision. And you might, as you take a few more of these big cleansing breaths, notice how the sensations of the breath have changed. How does that deep inhale feel in your heart center or deep in your belly? As you exhale, can you feel what melts and softens? Relaxing the jaw and the tongue as you take these deep breaths in and out. Allowing the mind to explore the little sensations. Or maybe with these big breaths come big ones. When you're ready, you might find your natural inhale and exhale again. And you might notice how it feels in the belly and in the heart. Maybe a little deeper, maybe a little looser, easier. Maybe it feels the same. We're here just to notice the little things. From this place, let's warm up the body. So we might take our right hand and sit on it. Now, you might sit on it, you might grab your hip, or if you have a chair that you're able to, grab the edge of the chair. Now I take up this whole darn seat so you can't see it, but we're gonna brace the fingertips of our right hand somewhere, just gently. On an inhale, you're gonna send that left arm up overhead, and as you exhale, plant the palm gently on the opposite side of your head. From here, we're going to take that left elbow and we're gently going to pull it over towards the left. So we're lengthening the whole right side of the neck. And then you might hang out here. This might feel delicious, or you might start inviting that left ear more deeply down towards that left shoulder. Maybe you use the weight of your palm to help stretch the side of the neck, but we're really just taking in this sensation right along here. And by taking it in, we're going to let our mind drop down into this area, this stretch. You might notice where you feel it all through the neck, maybe down through the shoulder and the arm. Maybe you feel it up in the jaw. So many little things to notice with our mind. And when we notice these things, not only is it building that mind-body connection, that interoception, but we're learning to continue noticing these little things, to find regulation in our nervous system. It creates a whole new level of wonder for our body. From this place, without moving, you might soften your gaze once more or close your eyes. You're going to lift your hand from atop your head and let the head float slowly upright. Rest your hands somewhere comfortable and just take in sensation. Low and slow today, my friends. What does the body feel like? A floating, a buzzing, an aching? You might take a deep breath into the belly, feeling it stretch wide, and then soften that breath, releasing it slowly before once more prepping for the other side. So sitting on the left hand or grabbing the left side of your seat. On an inhale, right arm sweeps up and overhead. Ooh, there's someone outside. As an exhale, we're pulling our right elbow over towards the right. And you might just hang out here, softening into areas of intensity. You might notice when intensity builds in the body, we tend to clench, right? So we just soften through the belly, soften through the shoulders and the neck. And then if it feels right, we invite that right ear to sink a little further down towards that right shoulder. Breathe deep into the belly here. The jaw remains loose, the tongue floats in the mouth. We'll take in the sensation, the stretch all along the left side of the neck, maybe the shoulder and the arm. Maybe you feel this somewhere else entirely. There is no wrong answer. We're going to notice and allow all the little things today. From here, if you haven't yet, softening or closing the eyes, lifting the hand from atop the head, we float upright once more. Take it in. Feel the sensation in the body, and then if you would like, we neutrally label it. Buzzing, humming, sharp or dull. And then let's continue to warm up the body. On an inhale, we'll sweep both arms up now. Pressing out through those fingertips, let the gaze follow as the palms rise. On an exhale, we're going to sweep the arms the opposite direction and place them at our back or interlace them behind our back. So you might be right here, or you might have fists at your back facing each other just like this. Regardless, we'll take this opportunity to squeeze the shoulder blades together, to press the chest forward, breathing now into the heart center. Just taking a few deep breaths into the heart. Allow your mind to notice the sensation of your chest cavity, your rib cage expanding with each inhale. And then let's further open up the front line of the body by lifting our chin skyward. Pressing the chin actively up towards the ceiling as you squeeze those shoulder blades together. Breathing deep into the heart and the belly. Can you relax through the jaw as you do this? Keeping the teeth almost closed, but not clenched. Softening through the tongue. Opening up the whole front line of the body here. And then on an exhale, lower that gaze nice and slow until the forehead hangs heavy towards the earth. We're just warming up the neck here. Some flexion and extension. If it feels like you can't really soften your neck as you lean forward, you might lean the heart and belly forward a little more. And then once more, relax through the forehead, relax through the top of the head. Let the neck hang loose here. We're opening up the front back body, squeezing those shoulder blades together once more. Knowing it's all right if we lose track of every little thing because we can only spin so many plates at once. And with time and repetition, the body maps this out. These postures become second nature, and the exploration we do in them deepens layer by layer. On an inhale, lift the gaze up to neutral, release the arms. Let's find some big lateral movement. So on an inhale, sweep both arms up. As you exhale, that right arm falls down by your side. We're going to press over towards the right with that left hand. So you might be actively pressing down through your right arm, really crunching through the side body and extending through this whole left side. Or you might just be hanging out here, pressing down through the pads of the feet, feeling secure in your, your ischium, y'all, it'll come to me, your sits bones. On an inhale, rise up, bring that arm. Exhale, let's switch sides. As much or as little as the body is asking for today, right? There'll be opportunity for more later. We breathe here, actively pressing down through our sits bones. That's what I was trying to say, and out through our fingertips. On an inhale, rise up. Let's move with the breath. Exhale, lean. Pressing down through those sits bones, we rise up. Moving with the breath. Exhale, we lower and stretch. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we surrender. We'll do this once more to either side, taking it at the pace that feels good for your body. Beautiful. On an exhale, simply lower the arms down, nice and slow, pressing through those fingertips. Wonderful. Let's get down into the hips now. So from here, we're going to heel toe our feet out, not as wide as you would for a goddess pose, but like you would for a wide-legged forward fold. So something cozy, but not too stretchy on the inside of the thighs. How's that? Your knees are going to track with your toes out at an angle. And then from here, we're going to take our right hand. We're going to take the back of our right hand to the inside of our right thigh and just slide it down towards the ankle. From here, that left arm is just going to sweep up overhead. We find a twist that gently opens the hips here. So the back of my right arm is an anchor. I'm pressing down through the back of my arm to help twist my heart in the same direction as my gaze over that left shoulder towards the fingertips of that left hand. Beautiful. On an inhale, rise up. Exhale, switch sides. Anchoring the back of that left arm, turning the heart center in the same direction that you're gazing over that right shoulder. Beautiful. Rise up. Let's widen this out even further. So you might scoot to the very edge of your seat to do this, just to get the range of motion in your hips. Then we'll heel toe the feet out as wide as they go. This time, our toes open up with our knees, right? Or I guess continually, still. From here, in goddess pose, we're really gonna sit into this. So find those sits bones. I like to take a rock left and right to really feel that anchor, and then settle into the middle of that. We're keeping the knees actively open here. So we're engaging in the outsides of our glutes, the outsides of our thighs to hold this open. On an inhale, pressing long through the top of the head. And then let's do that same stretch, this time legs a little wider. So the back of that right hand tracks down as far as it'll go. And maybe you're hanging out right here with the back of your hand on the inside of your knee. This is beautiful. Maybe you're all the way down here with the back of your upper arm on the inside of that knee. You decide what feels good. And when you're ready, sweep that left arm open, gaze and heart follow. We hold, right? That right arm, that right back of our hand is an anchor to help turn the heart center. Breathe deep into the belly, pressing down gently to the pads of the feet, opening those knees up. So many little things to explore in the body. Breathing in deep. And then on an inhale, rise up. Let's switch sides. We sink as far down as we delight in today. And then sweep that right arm open. Breathing into the body, we continuously press down through the pads of our feet as we press up through the top of our head. This helps protect our body, right? We're engaging our muscles to support our form and shape here today. When you're ready, rise up. We're going to keep the hips open for just a little longer. Now, you might give yourself a break anytime that you need. You might take a moment and massage the outsides of the thighs and glutes. And I just do this by creating these little circles with my finger and thumb and then gently massaging, right? If that sensation starts to build too much. From here, though, on an inhale, sweep the arms out wide, interlace the fingers behind the head. Once more, we squeeze those shoulder blades together. On an inhale, find that length. Exhale, we're gonna lean towards the right, and we're dropping that right elbow down towards that right knee. And then on an inhale, rise up by pressing down to the pad of that right foot, using the strength of your legs as well as your torso. On an exhale of your choice, let's move to the opposite side. As far down as you want to go. On an inhale, we press through the pad of that foot to rise back up. Let's move with the breath. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we rise by pressing down through the pad of the foot. Back and forth. Chair yoga, seated yoga is such an ab workout. And I think it's highly underestimated how much we rely on the strength of our core when we move through a seated place. We'll do this once more on either side if that feels nice, moving at the pace of your own breath. And then on an exhale, release those hands, heel toe those feet about hip distance or shoulder distance apart, and we'll start a little flow before we end our practice. So from here, I want to make sure that in our flow, we have space for a forward fold. And you might send the heart forward and be like, yeah, I totally do. If you're me, you've got a belly. I'm going to heel toe my feet out a little wider. I'm going to tuck my tummy in between my thighs, lean my heart center forward, and just make sure that I can feel my breath, that I'm not in pain or discomfort in this fold. And then from here, we'll start. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, we're going to plant the hands on our thighs, send our heart center forward. This is our first fold, so let it be easy. Send the heart center forward. We're just going to slowly shimmy the chest, the belly down between the legs. And then you might release the arms as well, or you might keep them atop the thighs. But we continue softening here. You might even relax to the top of the head, finding that gentle C shape with the spine. We're still pressing down through the pads of our feet, right? We're using our legs to protect the rest of our body here. And then having acclimated our hips to this fold. On an inhale, pressing to those feet once more, curl up vertebra by vertebra. The head is the last to rise. All right, from this fold, let's find our flow. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, plant the hands and fold. Releasing all the way down. Hang out here for a breath. On your next inhale, we plant the palms on our shins. We're going to rise up into flat back. Flat back is when we're pressing out through the top of our head directly in front of us as we really press our sits bones down into the earth. And I'll turn on my side so you can see. We're still pressing down through the pads of our feet and actively pressing out through the top of our head. Our neck remains neutral here in flat back. On an exhale, release the heart center back down into a fold. Relax the neck. On an inhale, you might sweep the arms out and up. Press down strong to the pads of the feet. We rise all the way up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms towards the heart center in Samastiti. There's a Sanskrit names for it. Let's find a little flow just like that. On an inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Now you might plant the hands atop the thighs. You might simply send the arms down. It's up to you. Inhale of your choice. Find your way to flat back. Exhale back down to the fold. Inhale, press to the feet. We rise up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Beautiful. Let's do it again. Inhale. We rise. Exhale. We surrender. Inhale, finding that flat back. Pressing to the top of the head. Exhale, surrender back down. When you're ready, on an inhale, sweeping the arms out wide, pressing through the feet, we rise up. Exhale, bring it all in towards the heart. Let's keep going. We know the flow, moving at the pace of your own breath. Each time you rise, using the strength of your legs by pressing hard to the pads of the feet. Beautiful. All right, let's move into this flow, but let's add some challenges. So let's do a chair posture, and then we'll find a figure 4 twist to end our practice. So on an inhale, let's do that flow one more time. Sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, surrender the heart center. Inhale, find that flat back. Exhale, surrender. This time, hang out in your fold for a moment. You're going to bring your palms to your heart center in Anjali Mudra. From here, on an inhale, we're going to press strong to the pads of the feet. You're going to lift your head and your heart up, almost like in flat back, but just a little higher. We're pressing up to the top of our head. The heart presses up as well. The palms are at our heart center here. So we're really feeling our body weight press down to the pads of our feet. And then to take it into Utkatasana, to the fullness of chair, you're going to start to lean forward a little more, press more weight into the pads of your feet until the calves, knees, and thighs activate, almost like you're going to stand up out of your chair, but you're not, right? So we lean forward into the pads of the feet. We activate the whole of the legs by pressing the pads of our feet down even harder as we press out to the top of our head. Breathing into the belly, breathing into the body, relaxing the jaw. Sitting into the intensity of chair posture that you don't think about because we always presume seated is so easy. On an inhale, finding that length at the top of the head one more time. You might exhale, turn towards the right in a closed twist here. Inhale, neutral. Exhale towards the left. Let's do this one more time, either side, letting that sensation build in chair. And then on an inhale, rise up to neutral. Beautiful. Heel toe those feet, back hip width, maybe a little closer. We're going to find a seated figure four twist. So crossing that left ankle over the top of that right thigh. And then we're going to take our left hand. We're going to find the inside of our thigh right here. How can I turn so you can see this? Our hip crease. And I'm gently just going to press my thigh away from my hip. So I'm pressing not only down, but I'm sort of rolling my hip out as well, right? It's a down and out roll so that we're opening up the hip socket here. And these are great, great moves to know, to learn, to feel through the body, especially if we work while seated. Because we can train our brain to find ease and movement even while we're sitting down. So figure four, we'll turn this into a twist. You might release the pressure from that thigh on an inhale, finding length through the top of the head. As you exhale, let's turn towards the right. And you might take your left hand to the pad of that left foot and use it again as an anchor, right? To turn the heart center. It's always the heart center that wants to turn. And then this back right arm, you might brace on the chair behind you, on a wall behind you. You might simply extend it out long behind you. But we're gazing over that right shoulder. The heart wants to turn as well. This beautiful open figure four twist. And then you might notice the little things, right? How does the breath feel in stillness here? How does this twist feel when you inhale deeply into the belly and the heart? How does it feel when you exhale deeply? When you're ready, release from this twist. Let's find it in the opposite direction. Now, this is a closed twist because we're closing into the top, or we're twisting the top of our thigh. But we'll take our right hand to the inside of our left thigh and then using it as an anchor, just like we did on the other side, planting our left hand somewhere behind us or extending it long behind us. We use our anchor to twist from the heart. Gazing over that left shoulder. And you might notice how this twist feels in this direction as opposed to the other. Do you have the same range of motion on this side? Does it feel the same to take that deep breath in, noticing how the stretch intensifies even in stillness? Simply with the breath alone. When you're ready, release from this figure four twist. We'll drop it down, switching sides when you're ready. Now you might give the knees a little sway. This can be a lot for the body. And then when you're ready, planting the pad of that left foot, crossing the right foot over top. We'll once more slide the palm down the inner thigh till our heel meets that hip crease. And then you might press your right thigh down and then roll it out towards the right just a little bit, right? Not only down, but we're rolling it out just a little bit. Keeping that length to the top of the head, breathing deep into the belly. And then let's release that, find our twist. So our left hand comes to the pad of that left foot, maybe that left ankle. We use it as an anchor to turn the heart center. And we've been here before, right? Just on the opposite side of the body. And so now that we're familiar with what we're doing, you might just explore the sensation of the breath. Maybe with each inhale, you press long to the top of the head, filling the belly and the heart deep. And with each exhale, you turn a little more into this twist. You might simply hang out in stillness with the ebb and flow of your natural inhale and exhale. And in your own time, release, come back to your neutral seat. We'll find our inhale, our length once more as we're ready. And as you exhale, plant that left hand on that right knee. We turn the heart center into this closed twist. Softening through the jaw and the tongue. Breathing deep into the belly and the heart. The more we allow our mind to notice the sensations of the body, the more that we allow our brain to map out exactly what we're doing, all the little things, the more swiftly we learn. You can release when you're ready. Release that foot. I'll continue my lecture when we move into our final Shavasana. From here, taking your final Shavasana by sitting back as comfortably in your chair as possible. Letting the back rest, the shoulders slump. You might even tuck the neck in towards the chin if that feels good, or if you have something to support the head behind you. Our goal here is effortlessness. And so with each exhale, you might just let the body grow heavy exactly where it is, surrendering any effort, knowing, as I was saying earlier, that allowing your mind to be a part of what's happening, to allow the brain to notice it, rewires these pathways so much swifter than if we do all of this movement without the deep awareness of our mind. So this is life-changing on so many levels. You might take a deep breath into the belly and the heart here. And as you exhale, let tension seep from the body once more. Find softness and stillness. And then hang out with your natural breath. Notice what rises and what falls. Allow the little things of this moment to consume your awareness, and notice how it's the little things that bring regulation to the nervous system, that bring ease to not only the body, but the mind. And we can do this not just with our body in movement, but we can notice the little things out in life too. Maybe you look at a tree and instead of seeing green, you see 100 different shades of green. Maybe as you walk through the grocery store and you see other people, you notice the kindness in their eyes. It's the little things that bring us into this place of peace. When you're ready, we begin to awaken the body. Maybe you rub your thumbs against fingertips. Maybe you give the toes a little curl and then a stretch. Knowing you're in no rush, take it like you would waking up from a long nap in the sun. You might do some ankle circles and some wrist circles. We stretch and we move in ways that bring our awakening body delight. Sometimes it feels good to stretch long and then release all that effort. Slowly awakening when you're ready, and only when you're ready. And no one gets to decide what that looks like but you and your nervous system today. You might find yourself back upright, bringing the palms towards the heart center. You might even take a gentle bow in the head to end your practice, if that feels right. Oh, man. Taking a moment to slow down, to notice the little things, and to give yourself permission to enjoy it. Those 3 little steps are powerful tools for transformation. So whether you are in the midst of overwhelm, whether life feels too big and daunting, or whether you're just caught up in the hardship, and those are valid places to be, they are. But know that time with the little things, even just breathing and feeling, can transform your perspective, can transform what your brain recognizes from day to day, and can heal our nervous system. Thank you for practicing with me this morning. The light and the dark in me sees the light and the dark in you, and we are the same.